The Thing That Woke Me Up, Part 4, The Voicemail. One of them took a step forward, and I woke up. Not violently, not screaming, not drenched in sweat, just awake, as if someone had quietly flipped a switch. One moment I was trapped inside the darkness beyond the truck. The next, I was staring at my bedroom ceiling. Morning sunlight filtered through the curtains, birds chirped outside, normal birds, real birds, the kind that belonged in the world. For several seconds, I didn't move. I simply lay there, listening, waiting, expecting something. A knock, a whisper, a voice. Nothing came. The dream was over, or at least I thought it was. I was 17 when the dreams returned for good. Not every night, not even every month, but often enough that I stopped believing they were random. Something had changed. The old dreams had always felt like glimpses, brief encounters, moments. The newer dreams felt longer, smarter, deliberate, like someone was learning, adapting. The figure wasn't simply appearing anymore. It was building towards something, and somehow I knew it, even if I couldn't explain how. Life continued, because life always continues. That's the frustrating thing about fear. The world doesn't stop just because you're terrified. School still happened, work still happened, people still laughed, bills still needed paying, the sun still rose every morning. By 17, I had a part-time job, a driver's license, a girlfriend for a few months, and then not a girlfriend. Dad and I still worked in the garage. Caleb was growing up fast, too fast. The little kid who used to follow me everywhere had become his own person, his own friends, his own hobbies, his own life. Sometimes I'd catch myself missing the annoying little brother he'd been, the one who wanted to play every game with me, the one who thought I knew everything, the one who'd bounce on my bed at 6 in the morning. Those days were disappearing, and neither of us noticed it happening, not until they were already gone. One night in late autumn, I finally told someone, not everything, just enough. I was sitting on the tailgate of Dad's truck with my friend Marcus. We'd graduated a few months earlier. The future was starting to become real. Jobs, college, moving away, all the terrifying adult stuff nobody prepares you for. The conversation drifted. Eventually, Marcus asked why I hated talking about dreams. I laughed, tried changing the subject. He wouldn't let it go. So I told him, not about the figure, not about the loops, just the basics, the recurring dreams, the feeling of seeing tomorrow, the strange sense that some dreams lasted weeks. Marcus listened quietly. When I finished, he nodded, then said something I wasn't expecting. My grandpa used to talk about that. I stared at him. What? He called them invitation dreams. A chill crawled up my spine. Invitation to what? Marcus shrugged. No clue. He was old and weird. I laughed. But something about it stuck with me. Invitation dreams. The phrase lingered, like a splinter under the skin. The next dream came 3 months later. 3 months. Long enough for me to relax again. Long enough for me to forget. It began in the most ordinary place imaginable. A grocery store. Not my grocery store. Not any place I'd ever seen. Just a grocery store. Bright lights, shopping carts, people pushing baskets, children crying, cashiers scanning items. Normal. Painfully normal. I wandered the aisles without questioning it. Dream logic, you don't question things until it's too late. I remember looking for cereal. That's it, just cereal. Then I heard a phone ring. One sharp ring, somewhere nearby. Nobody reacted. A second ring, still nobody reacted. A third, then a fourth. Something about the sound bothered me. Not loud, not frightening, just wrong, like hearing a familiar song played slightly out of tune. I followed it, past frozen foods, past produce, past rows of shelves, until I found it. A black payphone, standing at the end of an aisle, perfectly clean, perfectly still, ringing, waiting. The moment I saw it, I knew. The dream changed. Not visually, not immediately, but I felt it. The way animals sense storms before they arrive. The way your stomach drops before bad news. I knew I shouldn't answer. I knew that with absolute certainty. The phone rang again, and despite every instinct telling me not to, I picked it up. Dylan, my grandfather's voice. Again, the same voice from the truck dream. The same impossible voice, the voice of a dead man. The grocery store suddenly became silent. Every customer froze. Every shopping cart stopped. Even the fluorescent lights seemed to stop buzzing. I swallowed. What do you want? Static answered, and then, you don't have much time. The shelves around me began stretching upward, slowly. Almost imperceptibly, the ceiling climbed higher, the aisles lengthened, the store grew larger, emptier. The voice crackled again. Listen carefully. I looked around. Nobody moved, and not a single person. They stood frozen in place, smiling, every one of them smiling. My skin crawled. I hadn't noticed before. Now I couldn't stop noticing. The smiles, all identical. All wrong. The voice continued. It's learning. My chest tightened. What is? Silence. Then static. Then the thing that watches. The payphone line went dead. The store lights flickered. Once, twice, 3 times. When the lights stabilized, every smiling customer had turned toward me at exactly the same angle, at exactly the same moment. Nobody blinked, nobody moved. They simply stared. Then every smile widened, a little too far, a little too much. Something cracked, a jaw, then another, then another. The sound echoed throughout the store, hundreds of jaws stretching wider than they should. Wider, 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 until their mouths became black openings, bottomless, empty. Watching, waiting. The lights went out. Total darkness. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't think. Then I heard footsteps, slow footsteps, approaching from somewhere in the dark. One step, pause, another step, pause, closer, closer, closer. I knew who it was. I knew before I saw it, the figure. After all these years, after all these dreams, the thing had finally arrived. Not distant, not across a field, not beyond a window. Here, inside the darkness with me. The footsteps stopped directly in front of me. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it towering over me, watching for the first time in my life. I heard it breathe, a slow inhale, a slow exhale. Then something touched my shoulder, and I woke up instantly, standing, not in bed, not in my room, standing. My heart nearly exploded. I was in the hallway outside Caleb's room. The house was dark. Everyone was asleep. My hand rested on Caleb's bedroom doorknob. I yanked it away and stumbled backward. A panic surged through me. I didn't remember leaving my bed, didn't remember walking, didn't remember anything after the grocery store dream. My bedroom clock read 3:41 a.m., the same time displayed on the payphone before I'd answered. I locked myself in my room, turned every light on, and didn't sleep again. The next morning I told myself it was sleepwalking, that's all. Just sleepwalking. A weird coincidence, nothing more. But deep down, I knew something had changed, because for the first time ever, the figure had touched me, and something told me that mattered. A lot. 3 weeks later, I received a voicemail. Not in a dream, not asleep, wide awake. The message came from an unknown number, no missed call, no notification. Just a voicemail waiting on my phone. Duration, 0 minutes, 3 seconds. 3 seconds exactly. My stomach dropped the moment I saw it, because I already knew what I was going to hear. I don't know how. I just knew. My thumb hovered over the screen, then pressed play. At first there was only static, then a voice, my voice, whispering, terrified. Dylan, a pause, then, it's awake now. The message ended. I listened to it 7 more times. The voice was mine. Every inflection, every breath, every detail, mine. The timestamp showed it had arrived at 3:41 a.m., the exact moment I'd awakened in the hallway, the exact moment my hand had touched Caleb's doorknob. I never showed anyone. Not Dad, not Mom, not Marcus, not Caleb, especially not Caleb, because something inside me already knew. If I told someone else, if I made it real, then whatever was happening might become harder to stop. So I deleted the voicemail, or at least I tried to. The next morning it was back, waiting, unread, exactly where it had been before, and attached to it was something new. A photograph, dark, blurry, taken at night. The image showed the hallway outside Caleb's room. My hallway, my house, my hand resting on the doorknob, taken from behind me, as if someone had been standing there, watching. My pulse hammered in my ears as I zoomed in on the picture. Every detail was correct. The paint on the walls, the picture frames, the carpet, the door, everything. This wasn't close, it wasn't similar. It was my house, my hallway, my hand. My phone nearly slipped from my fingers, because reflected faintly in the glass of a picture frame hanging on the wall was a shape, tall, thin, black, standing directly behind me, looking toward the camera, looking toward whoever had taken the photograph. For a long time I just stared, trying to convince myself it wasn't there, trying to convince myself it was a shadow, a trick of the light, a smudge on the image, anything. But deep down, I already knew, the same way I'd known what the voicemail was going to say, the same way I'd known not to answer the payphone, the same way I'd known the dreams weren't normal. I knew. The figure had followed me out, not physically, not completely, but somehow part of it was here. Watching, learning, waiting. Then my phone vibrated. I nearly threw it across the room, and a notification appeared on the screen. New voicemail received. I stared at it, frozen. The timestamp read 3:41 p.m., exactly 12 hours after the first message. My mouth felt dry. My thumb hovered over the screen, then slowly pressed play. Static filled the speaker, longer this time, louder, almost painful. Then my voice returned, shaking, breathless, crying. Dylan. A pause, then another, as if whoever was speaking was struggling to say the words. Finally, the voice whispered, "It's not trying to get in." Static exploded through the speaker. The recording cut out. The voicemail ended. I sat motionless on my bed, my heart pounding, because I already knew what the next sentence was going to be. I knew it before I even thought it, before I even admitted it to myself. And the thing wasn't trying to get in. It already had, and somewhere in the house, a floorboard creaked.